Good evening, Bears fans. Chicago Bears podcast. Victor coming at you today to go over this disaster of a game. We're sure on a roll. And truthfully, I don't know which I'm angry at. Myself for foolishly picking the Bears to upset the 49ers, even though they are extremely banged up and missing some of their key players. What was I thinking? Or am I more angry at the Bears for just coming out and playing like garbage? Slow, no hustle, no tempo. And part of me should have just known. When any team is going through this much chaos, you're not going to win games. You fire the offensive coordinator 4 weeks ago. You fire your head coach. This team now is run by a bunch of assistants who are experienced in the NFL, yes. Can they, under a solid head coach who has experience, can all these men who led the show today be successful in the future? Absolutely. This team is playing uninspired. They know that they're not going to make a run. They played like it. They played like they knew they're going to lose the next 5 games. So they're like, whatever. There was no hustle throughout the first half. They scored nothing. Nothing. 0 points the first half. There has never been a Bears game we're talking maybe 5 years, 6 years. I'd have to really look. Where we start off 14-0 in a game and we come back to win. We are not the comeback Bears. That's just a guarantee. Sometimes you feel like you just want to turn the TV off. When you see a score 0-14 in the first quarter, the dictation has been done. I would really like to look and find out this stat. When is the last time the Chicago Bears came back from an 0-14 start in the beginning of a first quarter of a game? We're talking points. I haven't seen it in years. To be down 0-14 and just come back on a run and win. I have a lot of notes here. I'm not doing it today. I have just deflated. I mean, I knew, and I recut my video, and I'm so mad at myself. I redid it because I said, you know what? They're banged up. They're really banged up, but they're sick and tired of losing themselves. They're on a 3-game losing streak. They were, the 49ers. And we're on a 6-game losing streak. The last few games looked good, other than the ending by the boneheaded decisions by our former head coach, Matt Eberflus. I'm thinking, we were in the game with the Detroit. We were in the game with the Green Bay. We were in the game against Minnesota. The Niners are really banged up. They're having a bad year. What was I thinking? We have improved ourselves on the road. We haven't won a road game since last year. Since early last year. It's been what? Now we're at, I think, 20 games on the road that have been losses. Now, no Matt Eberflus. What was I thinking to think that 1 week, and from 1 week to the next, it was only a little bit over 8-9 days that our last loss. This kind of thing takes time to turn around. I know, even the best organizations, if you were to fire the head coach and all this, you're not going to just come back and bounce back and go on the road and beat the 49ers. I just really thought it's got to break sometime. It's got to break sometime. They're not going to go the rest of the season and lose every game, are they? Yes. I did say that in other earlier weeks. I said we're going to lose every single game for the rest of this year. And I predicted we were going to win today a few days ago because I just was sick and tired of being so pessimistic. This is not what brings anyone joy. So I said, hey, you know what? For the fans, for myself, just for the sake of, geez, we are a losing culture. Drops. Big mistake on the coaches to rely on Caleb's arm all day. I would like to see how many times, I'm not going to look, I haven't The yards were terrible, friends. Want to know the yards really quick? 161 yards compared to 448. At the half, it was 2 to 217. It was awful. Awful, ugly game. I'm not going to break this game down. Tomorrow, I'll break down my notes. It's a lot of notes. Save it for tomorrow. Big mistake on relying on Caleb to throw that many times. The run game was gone. We took it away. We had 2 good runs, maybe. 2 or 3 good runs. 1 run for a first down. They took away our run game. The 49ers decimated us in the first half of the game. Decimated. The 14-0. By the end of the first half, I believe it was 21-0. 24-0, I believe. Caleb holds that damn ball too long. This has become a pattern. It's a pattern. He holds that ball too long. It's awful. He will not throw that thing. He's scared to throw interceptions, but now it's become his MO. Now, dude, it's way past protecting the ball, throw an interception. It's fine. Get hot. And I said, key to the game. Caleb Williams has to get hot. He has to get Rome. Him and DJ Moore have to get going. That didn't happen. They took that away because they made them one-dimensional. There was no run game. So it was just nothing but the air. All they had to do is back up, play prevent, and take away the ball from us. It was terrible. He had 1 terrible fumble, Caleb. Awful. He held the ball too long, and he basically threw the ball, never let it go. It slipped out, and it looked like he just threw it on the floor. It looked terrible. Awful. I know the Caleb haters out there are going to have a lot of fun tonight. It's not about Caleb Williams. There's rookie year under this disaster. The man is on his 3rd offensive coordinator. His 3rd. Now he's got another guy calling plays because Thomas Brown has had to step up to head coach. So you have Beatty calling offensive plays. I wasn't feeling this guy. I wasn't feeling him. I like Eric Washington. I like Thomas Brown. Beatty, I'm not feeling him. He's got little experience. He's a wide receivers coach. He's a pro. He had success in college, but it wasn't good. Big drops in game killed momentum. Cole Kmet dropped a 2-point conversion. This ball was on his chest. Right on his chest. He caught the ball and dropped it. 2nd game in a row where he drops momentum-killing passes. No penalties today by Cole Kmet. Or any penalties? I said penalties have to be gone. They were. I didn't catch any penalties today. But there was no offense whatsoever. 3 and out. That was a bad. 49ers ended their 3-game losing streak. Of course. With the Bears. The all-new assistant coaching staff could not get this team ready for combat. Couldn't do it. No run game. Maybe 2. Tyson Bagent goes in at the end of the game to close this game out. Just because having Caleb Williams out there, that was a smart move. That's something Eberflus wouldn't do. Eberflus would have this guy, Caleb, out there with 3 touchdowns down and a minute left in the game. And you leave Caleb Williams in there? That's what he did. Smart move by Thomas Brown to pull him, sit him down, dust yourself off, live to fight another day. You're going to injure the kid against the game you're never going to win? That was a good move. That's an example of something better. The penalties were down. There was no interceptions again, but his first turnover. Ugly turnover by Caleb. I saw no energy. I got not much left, guys. That was pretty rough. I'm sure you fans out there are not feeling good about this loss. We are on a 7-game losing streak. And guys, this is it. I promise you, I will not predict a win for the rest of the season. There's 4 games left. Maybe this sounds common sense. Like, who will? There's Detroit. I believe it's Minnesota we're facing next week. And then it's going to loop around to Detroit. I think it's the Seahawks. And then we're going to finish the year off and get embarrassed by the Green Bay Packers. We will lose the next 4 games for sure. This game, I said we were going to lose 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, and I know we had Matt Eberflus, but it's just the whole thing didn't look right. This team is not in sync, and it just, no bueno. This team is not ready. There's a losing culture in this team. This team does not know how to win and finish games. They don't know how to start games because there's no offense. There's no momentum. There's no tempo. There's no quality play callers. Thomas Brown should have stayed offensive play caller, and we could have had a good head coach from the beginning of the game. Ryan Poles, this disaster is all on you, buddy. Ryan Poles, management, ownership, this is all the domino effect. This terrible loss today is a domino effect of disastrous choices and decisions from weeks ago, months ago, years ago. That's why we're on a 7-game losing streak. How do games go on these losing streaks? Because the losing culture, badly run teams. We are the worst team in the league. There has been no team that has been at a 300-yard deficit in a game all year. No team. That means we are the worst team in the league. Not one single team, not even the worst teams, the Panthers, the Jaguars, the Titans, have had a 300-yard differential against their opponent. And they face some of those worst teams have faced the same teams we have. And even they didn't look as bad as we did today. This was rough. Sorry, guys. I wanted to cut this a little shorter, but sorry. I wish we would have pulled this off. I was hoping for a win, but this is Chicago Bears football. You guys have a wonderful night, and we'll catch you tomorrow.